We always start off with a Maxim. Maxim number 59 from Chateau Heartiste. The less it looks like you're trying, the harder the girl will try to figure you out. Again, less is more. When it comes to game, the less effort you can put out over time, the better. And what I tell guys, because guys are, their default is action. She hasn't texted, I should text her. She hasn't called, I should call her. I haven't heard from her, I should reach out to her. You know, I should run the conversation. For every word she says, I say 3 words. And yes, girls have to be led, but generally guys default to action makes them too available. And women don't care for anything that they don't have to actually work for. So you want to make yourself a little less available. And what I've tried to convey to guys is take what you're doing now, wherever you're at. If you're not seeing quite the results that you want, if you're seeing great results, man, don't change anything. It's like working with, you know, coaches that work with like very gifted college or pro base football players. They don't fuck with their shit. They don't fuck with the guy's arm, with his blocking technique. Yes, they just go over the basics. They make sure that nothing's getting out of whack, and they let the guy do what he's good at. And the same thing comes down to game is if you're doing well, don't fuck with it. If anything, you know, I get guys that get bored because they really get really good at game, and they're pretty good at meeting a girl and moving her into bed very reliably. You know, he's closing at 80 or 90%, and they become bored. So I always say you can either try to start moving her to from complete stranger to in your bed with fewer steps, like see how few texts you can send before you get her in front of you and how fast you can make that first date go from, you know, meet up with her to where you're putting her into an Uber or at least taking her clothes off. You can challenge yourself in that manner, or you can go up the food chain. You can say, you know what, I'm going to try to date, you know, a girl that's like 1 or 2 points above or what I'm used to. And some guys will go for that. Some guys don't care, but you can speed up the process and see how fast you can challenge yourself in these little mental games for those guys that get bored. But in general, if you're trying to improve your game, less is more. Pull back a little bit, text her a little bit less, use fewer words, slow your actions down, move slower, literally carry yourself slower, and even just your gestures when you're talking to her, slow them down like 10 or 15%, and you will very quickly see a return on your investment of time that girls respond better to less effort. There's all sorts of like psychological reasons, but all you have to know is it works. It's kind of like electricity. You plug it in. You don't have to know how the electric company works. You just have to know that you plug something in and it will work for you. Again, if you your appearance is that it looks like you're not really trying that hard, the girl will try to figure you out. Again, girls find things that are scarce to be more interesting. Again, you got to have some attraction there. Guys go, you know, they think they're going to ignore girls and they're going to approach him. No, especially on the front end before you start fucking, you really have to make everything happen. But after you've fucked a girl 3 or 4 times, the momentum starts to shift and girls will start chasing you. So at first, before they'll put themselves in your proximity, you've got to do the work. You got to do all the heavy lifting until you put the P in the V. After you've done that 3 or 4 times, then she'll start chasing you. And that's the order that you normally see. And that's why guys get so confused. They're like, I thought I wasn't supposed to chase girls. Well, you got to do something. You got to put some effort out. They don't just show up on your doorstep or in your bed. But over time, it will actually feel that way. You'd be surprised. So Maxim number 59, just a reminder, less is more when it comes to game. The less it looks like you're trying, the harder the girl will try to figure you out. And there's all kinds of benefits. And again, if she sees other girls trying to figure you out, she'll become interested in you too. It's where you start getting referrals and you start getting, you start building up momentum. Next slide.